Hi everyone, I am Jyoti Singh and you are watching the Fluent Spoken English program with me. Today is day 15th and we are going to discuss prepositions and types of prepositions in detail. So let's begin. Prepositions are the words which are used to link a noun, pronoun or phrases to other words. They normally connect people, objects, time and location of a sentence. Let's understand this with an example. Ram is going to Delhi. Here, Ram is going somewhere. Now, to be very specific, that Ram is going to Delhi only, he is not going to some other place, we have used the preposition to, to, which means that he is going to Delhi, to be very specific. Second example, the gift is in the bag. Here, the preposition is in. That means the gift is inside the bag, right? We have identified somewhere around 10 prepositions, namely preposition of place, prepositions of time, prepositions of manner, prepositions of direction, prepositions of possession, prepositions of source or origin, prepositions of contrast or concession, prepositions of support and opposition, prepositions of cause, reason or purpose, and the last one, prepositions of measure. Let's understand all these prepositions in detail along with their examples. The first one is prepositions of place. Here we get the answer that where is the action taking place, right? The commonly used prepositions of place are at, against, in, on, across, over, below, under, above, etc. Let's see the use of at. To be very specific, at is normally used to tell about a small location or an event, that whether that you are attending this wedding or you are at this place. For example, I am at home. Here I am telling that I am at my place. To be very specific, that this is my location. I am at home. I am at a wedding. I am at a wedding means I am attending a wedding. I am in that wedding, right? I am at home means that I am at my home at present. I am nowhere else. I am at present at home. Or I met you at a wedding. That means I remember very well that I had met you at that wedding, not in some mall or somewhere, but at a wedding. Let's see the use of in. In is used to specify an enclosed space or large location or to tell about an abstract object. For example, fruits are in the box. Here, to be very specific, I am saying that fruits are not in the basket, they are in the box. That means they are inside the box. Sita is in Bangalore. When I have to tell about a location, a large location, like I am in India, I am in Bangkok, I am in America, we use in to tell that I am at this place on a larger picture. Now, the third example, I found a 2000 rupee note in my book. Here again, I am very much specific that where I found my book, where I found my, the 2000 rupee note, I found it in my book, right? So, prepositions of place that tell you where actually the action has taken place, right? Let's see the use of on. If I have to tell that the book is lying on the table, I use on. That means over the table, up on the table, right? The cup is on the shelf. So whenever you have to say that something is over a surface, is on a surface, you use the word on. Prepositions of time. Prepositions of time tell us about the time of action, that when has the action taken place. The commonly used prepositions of time are at, on, in, till, after, during, while, within, for. Let's understand these with examples. The first preposition of time is at. It is used to tell about the timing, about the precise timing. For example, I go for a walk at night. Here, by the use of at, I am specifying that I go for a walk at night only. I don't go for the walk in the morning, but I go at night. Exam will start at 9:30 a.m. Here, I am specifying that exam is going to start at sharp 9:30 a.m. It won't start at 10 o'clock, but it will start at sharp 9:30 a.m. So, to tell about the precise time, at is used. Now, let's see the usage of on. Whenever we have to tell about a day or a date, we use on. For example, my birthday is on 26th October. So here I'm saying that on 26th October my birthday comes, right? So before the date I have used on, right? Same way, school will remain closed on Gandhi Jayanti. For any public holiday, like Republic Day, Independence Day, Gandhi Jayanti, Mahavir Jayanti, Teachers Day, Children's Day, we use on, right? Like school will remain closed on Gandhi Jayanti. We have to go to this place on Republic Day, right? So on is used before a day or date. So you can say on plus day or date. Let's understand the usage of in. Whenever you have to tell about a month or a season or an year, just before that, in word is used. Okay, so you can say in plus month or season or year in a sentence. For example, exams will start in March. That means exams are going to start in the month of March. Sita loves ice cream in winters. There are people who love to eat ice cream in winters. So Sita loves ice cream in winters. Ram was born in 1989. Here year, before just year we have mentioned in. So Ram was born in 1989. Clear? For is also a preposition of time which is used to tell about the duration or the length. For example, Sita is coming here for a day. So whenever I have to tell about that, about someone who is coming for say a day or 2 day or 10 days, I use the for. So for denotes duration. So Sita is coming here for 1 day. During. Whenever you have to tell about any activity, you use the word during. During also tells about a duration, right? Duration of an activity. So we met a very tall man during our stay in the camp. So here I'm saying that when I had gone for the gone in a camp, I had met a very tall man. So we met a very tall man during our stay in the camp. Clear? Usage of since. Since is the starting point of an action, right? Whenever we have to tell that this activity is going on since morning or evening or say 4 days, we use the word since. Since tells about the starting point, that when this activity took place, when this activity has started. For example, Sita is reading since morning. So I am telling that Sita is reading since morning, since the start of the day, right? The usage of while. While is used when we have to tell about an action, like while driving she called me. That means when I was driving I got a call from her. Okay. Until always marks the end of an action. For example, I will study until midnight today. Here, and study is an action, right? So by the usage of until, I am marking the end of my study, that till midnight I am going to study, not after that. By is used for before or not later than that. For example, they will reach here by evening. So here I'm saying that they are going to reach here by evening. They won't be reaching here beyond that or at night, but they would be reaching before evening, by evening. Clear? Let's move towards the third type of preposition. Prepositions of manner. Preposition of manner, they tell you about the how in a sentence, right? That why, how this took place, what is the means of action. And the words commonly used are like, with, on, in, by. For example, Rita drives to office by car. So here I am saying that Rita goes to office by her car. So I have used the word by as prepositions of manner. Sita danced like Madhuri Dixit. Sita danced very beautifully and she danced like Madhuri Dixit. So that means Sita, the way she is dancing, the how question, that how is she dancing? She is dancing like Madhuri Dixit. Clear? So like, with, on, in, by are the kind of prepositions of manner. Prepositions of direction. Preposition of direction, they tells about the movement of a noun to another. Okay, they tells about the movement, and the commonly used prepositions of direction are to, towards, through, into. Clear? For example, I am going to Delhi. So here the word to is telling you that I am going to Delhi, right? So it's a direction. Now there is a very minute difference between to and towards. So when I am very specific that I am going towards Delhi, I use the word to. Now when I am saying that the dog is coming towards me, it means that dog is not exactly coming to me, but it is coming towards me. Might be the owner of the dog might be standing near to me, so the dog is coming towards me, right? So the dog is coming towards me, that it is coming in my direction, but not specifically to me. Clear? Prepositions of possession. A preposition of possession that tells about the possession of a noun to another. Here, one noun owns another noun, and the words used are on, with, of. For example, the girl with yellow shoes. That means the girl who is possessing yellow shoes. Okay. The car is of those Persian boys. That means the car belongs to the Persian boys, the boys who are from Persia. The villa is located on the hills. That means the villa is located over the hills, on the hills. So it is telling you about the possession. The villa is on the hills. Okay, that is the possession. Where is it? Where is it? It is on the hill. The car is possessed by whom? The car is possessed by the Persian boys, right? Prepositions of origin or source. That means to tell you about the origin. The commonly used words are from and by. Let's understand this with an example. The leaves get light from the sun. Here from word is the preposition of origin because it is telling you about the origin. That leaves are getting the sunlight. From where? From the sun. I have read the book written by Sheryl Sandberg. Sheryl Sandberg has written a very famous book, Lean In, right? So here I am telling that I have read this book written by Sheryl Sandberg. So who has written the book? Sheryl Sandberg. So Sheryl is the originator, that she is the author, she has written the book, right? The seventh preposition is prepositions of contrast or concession. These prepositions link to contrasting nouns. Let's understand this with examples. In spite of too much workload, we managed to file the income tax on time. Here two nouns are there, work and tax, right? So I am saying that although the workload was too much, still we managed to file the income tax on time. So in spite, I have used the word in spite. So in spite is the preposition of contrast or concession because they are two contrasting nouns. That workload was too much, but income tax was filed on time, right? Same way, he loves his work despite of knowing the nature of his boss. Although the nature of the boss is very bad, but still he loves his work. So I have used the word despite to tell about two contrasting nouns. Despite is linking two contrasting nouns, that he loves his work, but his boss is not good, right? So the prepositions of contrast are in spite, despite, nevertheless. Okay, they always link two contrasting nouns, wherein one would be good and one would be bad. The eighth preposition is prepositions of support and opposition. Here you favor one sentence and you are against one, right? For example, this NGO works for the underprivileged children. So here I am telling you that this NGO favors the kids who are underprivileged. Okay, so I have used the word for, which denotes favorism. Second, I do not like those who speak against humanity. I don't like people who speak or talk against humanity. So against is a word of opposition. This is a preposition of opposition, right? That I oppose people who talk against humanity. The ninth preposition is preposition of cause, reason or purpose, which tells you about the purpose of the action, right? And the commonly used preposition of purpose are of or for. For example, Rita is working hard for a scholarship. So here it's telling you the reason why she is working hard. She is working hard for a scholarship. Ram died of asthma. Ram died, right? So what was the reason why he died? How he died? Ram died of asthma. Clear? Let's move towards the last type of preposition. The last preposition is prepositions of measure, which tells you about the quantity of a noun within the noun itself. And the commonly used prepositions of measure are of or by. For example, Sita bought 2 kgs of apple, right? So here it is telling you about the quantity of noun. Apple is a noun, right? So Sita bought 2 kgs of apple. So how many, how much, what was the quantity of apple? 2 kgs of apple. So it is telling you about the quantity of a noun. The seller sold this cloth by meters in length. So a seller is there who's selling clothes. Now, what is the kind of measurement that how he is selling the clothes? He is selling the clothes by meters. So here we have used the word by, which is telling that the quantity is being measured in meters. So this was all about prepositions and types of prepositions. The next topic that we would be covering would be types of conjunctions, and we would be covering this topic tomorrow, so stay tuned. If you liked our video, then do subscribe, like, comment and share. And if you didn't like the video, then also please comment, so that we can get to know that where we need to improvise. Thank you.